That's okay if there's no sound. It's because I'm tabbed out of Star Citizen right now. We'll get there. Honestly, I haven't played a whole lot, mostly due to the state of the PTU. So on the PTU, 315 was very, very unstable in terms of like servers going 30k. At least with every build I played. There were a couple where it was pretty stable, and I don't know, like they fixed other issues that were happening in the PTU builds, and then the servers went back to being absolutely atrocious. So I'm really curious to see because I kind of stopped playing the last, I think 4 days, 5 days, something like that. Um, so I'm curious to see like what all got fixed in terms of stability. I'm also really super curious to see how people handle the whole item loss on death thing. Uh, Considering most people are, I don't want to say Care Bearish, but kind of Care Bearish. Like probably lean more towards being Care Bear than into combat and stuff like that. And then you add on to it, just the fact that there's a million fucking ways to die in Star Citizen that are no fault of your own. I think it's gonna be really interesting to see how 315 goes down. Hey, how's it going, Echo Man? No problem. I totally understand the need for sleep. Honestly, I was just planning on trying to test some stuff to see if I could figure out what was going on with streaming, because I've had so many issues since I got the new computer, and I think part of that problem isn't so much my new computer and like the setup that I use on OBS. I think it's that I stopped using Restream, and OBS now like offers the ability to stream to YouTube and Twitch like integrated if you're using the Streamlabs OBS. And I was like, oh, that's convenient. Now I don't have to like middleman shit. Yeah, let's use that. And it just never occurred to me that that might be what was causing the issues that I was having. Just want to get down and put a box in really quick. I think there's definitely some stuff in this patch that's a little concerning, like the fact that the pulling a weapon out and switching them could make a weapon disappear or drop bug is back is really, really, really depressing. Especially not having that fixed by the time you go live with your, your new build that integrates dropping items and losing them forever. I feel like that's kind of a bit of an issue. For me, the performance is pretty much what it always is. Like, I normally don't have issues outside of, like, being in New Babbage or, Orison or anything like that. So I don't know. Like, I don't really notice performance increases as much as I used to on the old computer. Um, so it's hard for me to say, Wiser. Especially on, like, a little moon like this, like Calliope. It's not really a big performance hit whenever you're out here on, like, these small moons. It's usually when you're near the cities, which, at least in the PTU, I think I was still only getting like 45 to 50 frames in like New Babbage and Orison and stuff like that. Yeah, I think salvaging delayed was not a surprise to anybody. I would hope. Like, man, you kept seeing salvage on the roadmap, and you're like, oh, maybe it's gonna finally happen. But deep down, you know better, right? Huh. Okay, sorry. Like I said, this is kind of like a test thing. And evidently Twitch is still totally fucked, which is weird. Nope, Ares and Redeemer are not yet out. Oh, hey Tropical, how's it going, man? I mean, like, are we surprised though, Echo? Like, think about it, right? Um, it's one of those things where it's like, I think I have a mark right here. It's so weird. It should be L1, right? Yeah. Like IAE, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo is around the corner. There's no way that they wouldn't do a live build for that, regardless of how unstable it is coming off of the PTU. I think that was pretty much guaranteed by like every CIG metric that there is, unfortunately. Which, I mean, like, to be fair, 315 on the PTU when the servers weren't dying was pretty playable. Like, I didn't have a whole lot of issues with 315. on the PT servers. The biggest problem seemed to be like servers 30K, and like you get one build where it was pretty stable. You could play like a couple hours here and there, and then you get another build, you know, the next day when they try to bug fix some other stuff, and then suddenly the servers lasted like 15 fucking minutes. So it's really just hit or miss all over the place. It's hard to say. Yeah, we gotta be live for the ship sale event, man. You don't miss that. That's a big no-no. Some Google food real quick to figure out what's going on with Twitch. Full fast air. Right, that'll do, buddy. Yeah, we are moved into our new house. Unfortunately, that did not stop Heather from wanting to go gangbusters on renovating right off the bat. You know, it's really funny too because like we had this whole plan set up. We were like, okay, we're gonna get this house and we're not gonna go fucking crazy as soon as we move in like we did last time. We were like, okay, well, at minimum, you know, do this and do that, and then like literally the night we got the keys, we started ripping shit apart, and I was like, yeah, okay, all right, I guess we're doing that. I was a little heartbroken because honestly, like up until last week, I think I've pretty much been like non-stop for the last month and a half just working on shit, and like my body was just dead. I was so fucking tired. Hate this shit so much. Eh, 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 eh. The fuck was that? Oh, cruise control. Refresh. Refresh? No? Alright, that's cool. We'll do it the fun way then. Fuck immersion.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Oh yeah, and I think you can't refuel at some of the fucking Lagrange stations or whatever. So I guess that's probably not a great, you know, part of this patch. That's actually probably why the servers are working and performance isn't terrible. It seems like you can never have two the same, right? You either get to pick functioning refuel and rearm and repair services, or you can have functioning servers, but never both. Technically it's a ranch, but it has like a full finished basement also, so it might as well be two-story. It's just one of them's underground. Yeah, I'm not a fan of stairs, man. I fucking hate going up and down stairs. luckily Heather is equally not a fan, so I didn't have to worry about that. Especially with like moving shit. I mean, granted, like we moved, so my kids all have like downstairs rooms. So we did have to move some stuff downstairs, but man, when you have like a two-story, like a traditional two-story house, fuck moving like huge king mattresses and stuff like that up, you know, going up to the second story. Like that stuff is, no thank you. I'm out. Fuck you. We're only on 10 acres, so it's not huge. It's enough space for like us to kind of like not have to worry about what, you know, neighbors do with their property and stuff. So that was the big issue that we had with our last house. It was only on 2 acres, and it was a nice, like, cute house. It was a little small for like Heather wants to have kids and stuff like that, but for the most part, it was, you know, like it was a house we could have stayed at. But on the back end of our property was, and one of the reasons we bought it was like 300 and some odd acres of farmland, and the farmer died, and his fuckhead kid decided to sell it to a developer. Got it. So all of like our back view and like what we liked about that house, like when we bought it, was going to turn into, you know, subdivision housing, and we were like, well, fuck that. So one of the nice things about like our new place is it doesn't matter, you know, like what everybody else does, because we won't see it. Yeah, it's definitely a nice plot of land. And it's also nice because like it's right up against a field. Like our property ends at another farm field that's also like I guess like leased or whatever to the power company, because they have their power lines going through it. So hopefully this time it will stay farmland for a while. At least until I'm old enough and dementia riddled and won't care, right? Oh, fuck that, Echo. Yeah, man, I don't know how people deal with that kind of stuff. Like, especially like city living, where you're talking about like having to haul fucking furniture up like staircases and shit. Fuck that. That's literally the stuff of my nightmares. I don't think I could do it. Okay, we'll get back out. I was gonna try and fix Twitch because I don't know what is going on with it. But fuck it. Twitch can eat a dick. I actually think the problem is, like a while back, Twitch had like a big security breach or whatever, and you were supposed to reset like your stream keys or some shit like that. And I think that might be why Twitch is just a black screen. But the main thing is that YouTube is hopefully working. I need to check that. I got distracted with Twitch being the usual piece of shit that Twitch is. Yeah, let's see if we can air refuel. Nice. Alright. I mean, I have my military retirement, and then Heather's a nurse, so we make decent money. We're comfortable, at least, right? That's why I'm always like, whenever somebody donates, I'm like, you really don't have to do that. Like, I feel like that's one of the defining differences between, like, Board Gamer and myself. Like, when I'm saying I really don't care about the channel, like, I genuinely mean it. My livelihood is not in any way tied up to shilling games on fucking YouTube.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Like, if my channel died tomorrow, I wouldn't be jobless in my mom's basement, right? I feel like that's one of those things that you should kind of like look into with a content creator anytime they're saying do or don't buy something is, you know, do they have a personal interest in this product? I miss being able to get delivery missions everywhere. So annoying. Oops.
Landing gear raised.
That was not the button I was looking for. Hey, Crockfly, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to figure out what's been going on with OBS, but outside of that, pretty good. Renovating a house, trying to decide if I want to go hunting for deer season, all that stuff. Getting a sad dose of reality with the Hercules A2 going live and it coming out as underwhelming as I feared it was going to. That one hurt the most. I think of all the 315 and 2021 disappointments out of Star Citizen. I really wanted like that Star Citizen AC-130, and instead we got like, I don't know, an AC-130 where the guns are gutted out and it can drop a mean bomb, and you know, when they do need to fire on the ground, basically the soldiers stick their rifles out the fucking windows and shoot with an M16. That's pretty much that's what the A2 feels like to me. I haven't looked at the version number off of 315, but they might have rolled back. At one point, they had released a patch that was like literally unplayable, and I think they rolled back on that one. So it might be a different version hierarchy. It's only 6 o'clock, fuckhead. You got another hour before you get food. Dork. See you for a sec. Calio, Babbage, Frontier, Microtech, and yeah, I'll go to shoot it. Oh, they're all out of a landing pad locker. Why? Let's do that one. Yeah, I never got around to playing Deathloop. Heather's brother bought it when we were still staying with her parents. And I don't think he played it either when he got it, because like he said there were a bunch of problems with it at launch or something. So I never heard if it was good or not. Yeah, the sound in this game is honestly pretty up there, especially for space games, I feel like. Honestly, a lot of this game is getting pretty decent quality, which is crazy to fucking think. If they could just, you know, fix servers and, you know, start delivering on some of the stuff that they keep promising, I would have a very different opinion on this game.
Quantum drive deactivated.
A little quick. Like, over the last 2 years, I don't feel like they've gotten anything meaningful introduced to the game, but they've gotten a lot done in quality of life, which is nice. And to be fair, like, that's what Chris said, I think at the end of 2020, that, like, that was going to be their focus for, you know, until Squadron 42 came out, I think. So, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, you fucking dum-dums, because like that is what they said they wanted to work on. And I do think, like, you know, what's the point of having this PU that we're gonna in all likelihood be stuck with for probably the next 4 years additionally, at least, if it runs like shit and things don't work fucking right, if mechanics are miserable, you know, all that shit. So it's hard to be like upset that major content's not coming, because it is what they said that they were going to focus on, was quality of life and like improving what was already here. And I do kind of feel like they've done a decent job of that. So, I mean, Star Citizen is unfortunately still Star Citizen, right? Like, it's still loaded with bugs, it still has plenty of fucking issues, but complaining about content, unfortunately, I feel like is a little bit shitty to do right now, considering it's not like what they're focusing on right now. God, I hate having to use third camera. I would love to have a fucking landing camera again. That'd be fucking great. That would make me super happy. Okay, Chris, if you want to add something, quality of life, add that. I just feel dirty as fuck using third person. Oh, of course they're not in the same fucking building. Just can't win. I'm also a bit bummed that they didn't fix the medical missions working. That's what I wanted. Remember the good old days when you just click your mouse down to do that. Yeah, I mean that's kind of one of my issues with the Hercules Echo, is that, like, you know, you have quite a few ships in Star Citizen that are incredibly turret focused, right? Even though, you know, that's not really like their thing, but CIG was like, yeah, this would be a good ship to put fucking 8 turret stations into. So, like, until AI crew, those ships are kind of fucking, you know, defenseless as fuck or useless, especially if they're like a turret combat focused ship, like, you know, the Hammerhead and stuff like that. Because, like, who the fuck wants to sit in a turret for hours? Whose idea of good gameplay is that? So it's just frustrating. Like, the Hercules, the A2, it's like, oh yeah, here's all these guns, but, like, there's like 90 fucking different gun stations, and they're all over the ship, and, like, none of them are really, like, well positioned angle wise anyway, so, like, enjoy your useless ship. But hey, you have 4 bombs you can drop. That's pretty neat, right? Or like the Retaliator. Like it'd be nice if that thing was more than just like a dump and bounce fucking chump, you know? That and like the other thing that bothers me about the Retaliator and having it be like a fucking turret gunboat from hell is that like its whole thing is like, oh, you want to try to stealth in and like dump torpedoes and fucking bounce, right? Like who wants to sit in those, what is it, like 11 turrets or whatever it is? Like I don't even remember how many are on the tally, but it's an insane amount of number. Who wants to just sit there knowing that like the entire objective of the pilot is to not be seen or engaged and to shoot some torpedoes and then go home and reload? Hey, Love, how's it going, man? So far this build, at least on this server, seems decent. It was kind of rough in PTU, so I'm curious. Like, I stopped playing the last couple of builds on PTU. I'm curious to see if they actually finally got it dialed in or not. Uh, I hope it's fucking stable because, you know, now that we have this whole, like, when you die, you lose all the shit you had, it's kind of important to have, like, working servers. You know, the stakes are a little bit more increased. But we'll see. I feel like, you know, when it comes to I'm out of it. I'm out of it. I'm away from it. Get away. Fucking game. When it comes to like Star Citizen servers, it's best to just like expect nothing and be pleasantly overwhelmingly surprised when anything works. Looks like a sad robot face. Right, that's what I mean. Like, with the way that with the way that this is, like, you know, now that you can, you know, lose, like, who's gonna fucking want to wear subflare? Who's gonna want to like wear the armor that they bought? Who's gonna want to do any of this shit when, you know, you could lose it for literally no reason? You know, falling down the stairs, getting blown over by the wind too hard, like, you know, all sorts of different shit. Servers deciding to do server stuff. Oh yeah, no problem. One sec. I think somebody was complaining about not being able to hear the game a while back, and I was like, oh, okay, I got you. So I cranked it way the fuck up. Should be a little bit better. It'd probably help if I had the mic closer to my face. I just wasn't really planning on like streaming a lot today, so
Quantum drive.
I was just trying to fix OBS and see if I could get it to work right. Oh no, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. I did want to go here. I was confused. Um, so the mic was like at the far corner of my desk, so that's probably part of why I'm so quiet. Hey, Jellyfish, how's it going, man? Yeah, no problem. I'd rather somebody say something than not say something, right? Did the actual development? Oh man, there's a loaded question for you. I mean, when did them working on the code of the game in the engine work start? That was what, 2010? I mean, 2016 we already had the PU, so I don't know if I'd say it actually started.
Landing gear deployed.
Yeah, there's YouTube videos of Chris and like some of the original like group that he was starting the project with, like talking about how they were working on the code of the game and getting it ready for Kickstarter back in 2010. So either he's a liar or, that's the official start date. That's one of those things that like the more white knighty fans are always like, oh well, it didn't start until way way later, and it's like, okay, but your Messiah's over here telling you that they started back in 2010, so like, does that not count? Okay. Oh well, it was just a small team, and it's like, okay, cool. So was Hello Games, and they still made a fucking game. Like, you can't just hide behind that. And then, you know, after the Kickstarter, like let's say 2013, 2014, they're like, oh, well, they were still standing up the studio. No, they were contracting to people who had plenty of employees, dude. Let's chill with that. It's just frustrating how like there's always an excuse for like why they haven't gotten much done in a decade. It's like, if you're that passionate about the project and you believe in it that much, like you should be able to own the state of the project and like how much has gotten done. Like you shouldn't need to constantly lie about like trying to reinvent history. I think that's the thing that like bothers me most about Star Citizen backers is like the constant need to like reinvent the narrative. Yeah, same Echo. Like my kids were fucking little babies running around shitting themselves. Now like the oldest is getting ready to start fucking driving. But yeah, tell me more. Tell me more about how Star Citizen's making great progress. That's probably a really good parallel, honestly, correctly. Pick your box, motherfucker. Gucci. Good, 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 good. I mean, here's the thing, though, right? Hold on, let me pop my fucking dentures out because it's driving me crazy. My mouth is like cotton mouth right now. Oh my god. I can't wait till I don't fucking need these things anymore and I can actually like talk normal again. It's gonna be so weird. Um, Here's the thing. In the past, Star Citizen has been a fucking hardcore meme fest, right? The devs, I think the devs still lie pretty regularly, but like they used to lie about fucking everything back in the day. Deadlines were never ever on time, never. Like nothing they promised that was coming would ever have like the remotest chance of coming. Um, like there's so many fucking shitty things that CIG did in the early years. However, in like defensive CIG, Star Citizen slowly, very fucking slowly, like watching paint dry slowly, and not like the quick dry, latex paint, like, fucking old school, fucking water based paint. Um, it's very slowly starting to like form into what I would consider an early access game. Um, I would say that like currently the game's still more like, I don't know, concept demo than it is early access, which is, probably pretty close to the same thing. But, if they got stability there, you could at least be like, yeah, this is kind of an early concept sandbox, but you get the idea of what the overall game is supposed to be and what it's going to be. And like what is here does look really pretty. It's visually like amazing, especially for a a space game. Like we just don't have a lot of space games that look good. Um, Usually in that genre, you get like mechanics and like cartoony looking graphics, or you get, you know, good looking graphics and shitty everything else. So I definitely feel like Star Citizen is very, very slowly starting to take some kind of form. It's just that we're still looking at like easily at least another 5 years, maybe even another decade before like there's something solidified there where you're like, okay, this is Star Citizen, right? Um, and that's going to be a major deal breaker for some people, for sure. But I do think that like they are slowly making progress. It's not like I think the people on Spectrum or like the content creators on Twitch and YouTube that are like, "Oh my god, it's so good now. They're making so much progress." Like those people are fucking crazy. It's the last 2 years have been almost no progress. It's been quality of life fixes for sure, but like actual progress, there really hasn't been much. No problem, Cody. The HUD is moving because my player character's head is moving. Because in Star Citizen, everything is not faked or whatever. So as my character's like trying to like keep his eye on the horizon, it wobbles. It's definitely irritating for sure, man.